Hi, Steve. Thanks for joining me tonight. How are you?
Thank you, Jess, very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm fine.
That's good. I was so excited when I got to do your interview. I think that you're probably one of my founding people that I look up to and I started with. And, when I was being a supervisor myself, it was like, no, have to go on Thursday nights with Steve and he'll round you off and make you amazing before you go and do a session by yourself. And, you did. You had such a big impact on my refereeing career and then a lot of others, which hope we share tonight. But
Yes.
First of all, I just wanted to share my favourite memory of you, and I don't know if anybody else can relate, but the first time that I ref with you, I always remember this, and you have to yell at me later, but I still remember the first time. It was on a Thursday night, court 5. We were reffing together, and still remember you and your little hand that follow everybody around the court like this. I hope everyone can see my hand. And you said, gotcha. To the guys, and I was like, oh, there's no arguing with you, is there? And I loved it. And I can still remember, how you taught me and what you instilled in me and how confident you were and everything like that. So it's a real pleasure to interview you tonight. And I got you.
Yeah. Yes, well, very, very good. You remember back to those Thursday nights when they all used to turn up drunk and fellas used to smack little fellas and all those sorts of things, and we had to run it like that, otherwise there would have been mayhem.
Yeah, exactly.
We had enough appearance at the tribunal in those days.
Yeah, exactly.
We did.
But yeah, so we'll get started. So tell me a little bit about yourself. How long have you been reffing for?
Well, I've been at Knox for, I think, 30 years.
Yeah.
He's on the dashes that he's on that. But I started refereeing in about 1970.
Yeah.
And I started in Ballarat. And
you started with Anthony, didn't you?
Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah, started in Ballarat with Anthony. And I kept in contact with him over many years for all the positions that he was and all the positions that I were in the education department and everything. And we used to run across each other at places and, like Ballarat and Sunbury and all over those sorts of places. So, had a bit of a history. Went to Warrnambool, went to Morwell, came back to Melbourne. Yeah, came back to Melbourne. Went to Nunawading. Had a bit of a break, and then came back to Knox when we moved out here. Out here, came back out here, and ran into Peter Williams. And he said, you better come down. And he said, there's a school starting next week. I'll put your name down. So I turned up, and when he was running it, away we went.
Isn't it funny how instilled everybody's information is? I just did a course 2 months ago, and Neil Quinn was in that as well. He's just full of information. It's so nice to talk to all of you guys and just get all of your wealth out of you. It amazes me how much everyone passes on to each other.
Well, the name of the game is instruction. And if the person is able to receive it and then use it, then they benefit and you benefit too, because the whole situation that you're in gets better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think that you have been a real inspiration for others, and you've been a mentor and guided so many people. I'd have to ask you, who is your one person that stood out as somebody that you've loved watching grow, and why is that?
Oh, goodness gracious me. Oh, fancy asking me a question like that.
Picking favourites here, Steve.
Hey, that's terrible. Well, I'm gonna answer that question by saying that I don't play favourites. I try to give everybody as much help as I possibly can, from the youngsters that I get to ref with, and I know that on some nights out comes a little youngster and you just go, "G'day," and says, "I'm just out of the school and it's the first night." So I try to, one, protect her or him, try to give them some confidence and some, I suppose,
Encouragement.
just encourage them to make the calls and to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a list as long as your arm of those that have gone to NBA and Big V and Panel and WNBL and all of those guys that have gone through the schools. There's a list of people that have stayed in the branch and have become solid mentors to the youngsters. There's those that have stayed in the branch and then gone on to do junior panel, and then that's all they've done. They've come back to the branch. And I think that's the solid part of the branch that I love, is that we've got like WNBL referees coming back into the branch and reffing with youngsters and giving them a pathway, giving them the confidence. And also they learn so much from refereeing with those guys that they, next time they go out on the court, they go, oh, well, I just ref with him and he did that, so I'm going to do that. And it works because they've got the nous to do it. Yeah. It's a wonderful thing to be part of the growth of the entire branch. I think that's the key. And that is what I would say would be my favourite thing.
Yeah, no, thank you. And who do you reckon is your person that you gel the most with when you ref? That you're just yin and yang?
When I ref?
Well.
Oh, goodness gracious me. God, suffer me. You've got great questions. You make me think about all these things. I've got to play favourites again.
Not favourites, just who knows where you're looking. You know where they're looking. You can pick up on each other and it's all good.
Well, not very often now, but Ian Knight, he started off as a junior on Thursday night, as you would know, with his dad. And I kept telling him to get his hair cut and he wouldn't believe me. The moment he got his hair cut, he went boom, straight up onto panels and everywhere.
See, listen to the wisdom.
I keep rubbing it into him every time. But we've done a couple of games.
So that we rub it into Ian sometimes. He always usually gets one up on us.
That's exactly right. But to do a game with him, he's come and done a game with me or something like that. And I remember one game we did, this bloke swore, and as he walked away down the court, he swore again, and he'd already worn one tech, and Ian turned around and just went bang, and he was gone out the door before he knew what happened to him. And Ian walked up to me and he said, there you are, that'll teach him to be smart, Alec. And we never had a single problem for the rest of the game. And it was two teams that wanted to smash each other to pieces. So, I suppose Ian would be one. I haven't reffed many games with Daniel, I would say. And I think he would probably agree. Brad was good. Oh, yeah, my goodness gracious me. You wouldn't push Brad for an inch without copping the wrath of the...
Is that Brad as a referee or Brad as a player? Because I remember both quite well.
Yeah, I remember both quite as well too. I'm talking about refereeing. We won't talk about playing because I can't throw stones. So
yeah, exactly. Me either.
For fat girls.
Yeah, no, we can't talk about that. There's no.
No, we'll leave that. Yeah. Daniel, edit that out.
Yeah, get rid of that bit.
Good. Yeah. Good.
But yeah, what have you been doing to stay fit while you've been away?
Well, Dawn and I have been doing a lot of walking. Dawn had an accident a few years ago and broke her hip and had to have a replacement hip, and we bought a very big tilt incline walking running machine.
Yeah.
So we're on that. I've got an exercise bike. So yeah, staying fit.
Ready coming back.
Yeah. Well, coming back is what one aims for.
Yeah.
Whether we get back is another question. Hopefully, when they sort the bloody rubbish out, we might be able to get back. Have a bit of fun.
So what would be
Yeah.
your best advice in this time for everybody, either on the court or off the court? What would you like to throw out to everybody just while we're going through it all?
Oh, goodness. Time for me to be profound, I suppose, is it?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, we'll split it into two. In their private lives, look after the people that are around them. Take care of them. Make sure that they stay safe and that they abide by the rules. And from now on, wear your masks and do all those things so that you don't get it. You may not get it yourself, but you might pick it up and you might give it to somebody you love, and you'd never forgive yourself. So look after yourselves.
Yeah.
Keep doing the job that you're doing if you can. If you're doing it from home or you're doing it at work, whatever, put your head down and make use of the time to get yourself going. As far as referees and the referees, get yourself a driveway, run the beat test, go for runs around the footy oval next to you, or go for runs around the street or wherever where you've got hills and uphill inclines and those sorts of things to stay fit and keep your fitness up. Just make sure that you're looking after yourself, eating wise and drinking wise. Don't drink too much and don't eat too much, and make sure you eat and drink the right sort of stuff, so that when we go back, you're prepared to take the court fit. You'll be a bit rusty with your whistle, but that won't take long.
We've got electric buzzers coming. We won't even need our whistles soon.
Well, but that's for the supervisors, isn't it? And you're going to have little positive things on the back of their necks, and you can push the buzzer and give them an electric shock. Isn't that what I heard?
You can't play your whistle with a mask on. Nah.
Well, no, we won't be blowing a whistle with a mask on, that's for sure. Oh, dear.
No, it'll be fun. No, it'll be
good.
As soon as we can get back, we will. And yes. I think that, we do have great people to be around in the meantime. And it's a shame, but we will get there. Yeah,
well, I think the culture of the branch is one of being a leader in the branch. You've got a responsibility to look after the youngsters and the oldies and everybody. You've got to make sure that they are protected, but they're also looked after and trained so that they can go on and do. The culture will look after all members. And I think you've seen the great things we've done on Facebook and all the signs and the VBRA Knox and still winning the first prizes and all those sorts of things. That's the good part about it. And with all the good people that we've got, from Daniel right down to the last young kid that came out of school, it's something to be proud of, to be a part of. And you should be proud to take the court every time you do take the court.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time tonight. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And I've loved you picking all your favourites. I won't say that. Just checking. But we'll be back on the court soon enough, and I would love to do a game and all the rest of it and catch back up with everybody. And I really appreciate all of your wisdom, and I'm sure that so many people. So it's been a pleasure to interview you, and thanks again, Steve.
Just before you go, congratulations on being appointed as the assistant advisor with no work to do.
I know. I was like, the shortest 12 days of my life in a job role. Don't even have a job anymore. Just all volunteering, because I love you all.
Yeah, very good.
But yeah, excellent. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Jess.
Bye.
Been good fun.